Hello students, in today's lecture we are going to start module 5, and module 5 is comprises of three chapters: event handling, introducing swings, exploring swings. Okay, let us start with event handling. Event handling is actually interacting with user interface. Okay, suppose you have a button. If you have a button and you want to perform some action, see, suppose you have one window here. Okay, if this window has one button, suppose in this case I have a button called exit, and if I press this exit, see, if I click on this, it is not doing anything. It is not doing anything, right? See, this is what actually event handling. When you press a button, what should happen upon click a button? That is called event handling. So the main components in event handling are a user who is going to interact with a user interface. That user interface, we will call it as source. We will call it as source. Okay, and source generates a event object. Source generates a event object that describes the event. What kind of event it is? What kind of event it is? It is a click of a button, scrolling of a scroll bar, or a text area, or any other window readjustment, other things. Okay, and the event object will be created and passed to a listener. Event listener event listener. Okay, so who is the event listener? Actually, event listener listens to this event and reply back, process this event, reply back, process this event. The same thing in human case. See, if you are interacting with someone, there should be a listener, right, who will react to your conversation, right? Here the user is interacting with a user interface. This user interface is called as source, which generates a event. Source generates a event. Upon generation of event, event object will be created, which is in Java, which is describing the event, that it was a click of a button or scroll of a scroll bar, or what it is. Okay, then it will be passed to a respective event listener. And event listener will listen to this event object, process the event, and reply back to the user. Okay, see, in this case we had one button that is not replying to me, means there is no listener for this button, right? So what I will do is I will add a listener to this. See, event, I will add a action listener to this, action listener. And what to do when this button was clicked? I am writing system dot, sorry, system dot exit of 0, exit of 0. Previously it was not interacting, right? It is not responding to us. Now it will respond. See, we have an exit button. When I click this window will be closed, right? This means for every event there should be a listener. And who was the source here? See, I was interacting with this source. This source generates a event and pass to a listener, and this listener performs some action. We will not go with the codes and all. Now we will just understand the theory, then we will go with code in Java swings. Okay, now see, role main terminologies are source, event object, and event listeners. Source, which generates the event object which describes the event, and event listeners which process the event. Okay, now delegation event model. Java follows a delegation event model from Java version 1.1. Okay, before that we had different model. Okay, let us not discuss that. We'll go with delegation event model. According to your syllabus, we have delegation event model. Okay, in this, a source generates an event and sends it to one or more listeners. See, a source can have more than one listeners. Source can have more than one listeners. Okay, in this scheme, the listener simply waits until receive an event. Until receive an event. See, listener will not perform any action until it receives a event object or a event. Okay. Now, once the event is received, the listener processes the event and then returns. Then listener will process this event object and it will return the output to the user. Okay, it's very simple. Why it is called event delegation model, delegation event model? See, the advantage of this design is that application logic that process the event, the thing which process the event is separate from the user interface, is separated from user interface. Means if you make changes in the user interface, if you make changes in user interface, if you make the button bigger, it is not going to affect its logic. Means, see, the button is bigger, but it is not going to affect its logic. Still it is closing the window. Okay, so means processing is separated from the user interface. Design that application logic that process the event is cleanly separated from user interface logic that generate those events. Mean you can modify look and feel of this user interface without affecting its logic. Okay, a user interface element is able to delegate the processing of an event to separate piece of code. Yes, user interface is a separate piece, a separate code, and processing that event is a separate code. Okay, in delegation event model, the listeners must register with the source in order to receive an event notification. See, in this model, the listeners should register with this source or vice versa. Then only they are able to receive the events from this source. If listeners are registered to this source, then only they are able to receive the events from the source. Then they will process and produce the output. Okay, so we'll see what is an event. An event is an object that describes state change in the source. State change means what? See, here if you just run this code again, state change means, see, it was when I click, before it was non-click or inactive state. When I click, it becomes a clicked state. Then the state has been changed from non-click to clicked state, then it has exited. Okay, so an event may also occur that are not directly caused by interaction with user interface. That is, it is not necessary that you should interact with user interface. You can provide these events in a file as a series of commands. Then it will be taken as an input and performed, processed by event listeners. Okay. Now, what is this event source? We have studied about event. Now, event source. Event source are user interface or any file or any non-user interface elements also. A source is an object that generates an event like a button. In our example, this occurs when an internal state of the object changes in some way. If you click on this, it becomes pause or play, whatever it is. So if the state changes, then an event is generated. Okay, a source must register listener in order for a listener to receive notification about a specific type of event. Vice versa, I have told you, right? See, listener can register to a source or source can register to a listener to receive this event. Okay, so how to register? See, how to register a listener to a source or a vice versa, using this method called public void add type listener. This is just a general format. Here the type will be replaced by what type of action it is. It is a click of a button, scroll of a scroll bar, or moving of a mouse, or dragging of a mouse, or whatever it is. Okay, that will be replaced by that type of action. Okay, the same thing here, type, and the EL will be the object that representing that event. Okay, we'll understand this thing very easily in chapter introducing swings. Okay, now Once you have registered source with a listener, once you have registered source with a listener, remember that source can register more than one listeners, more than one listener. See, when I am giving a lecture, there are more than one listeners, right? More than one listeners. Okay, if you don't want more than one listeners, if you want one to one type of listener, when an event occurs, all registered listeners are notified and receive a copy of event object. This known as multicasting event. Okay, if you don't want many listeners, if you want only one listener, at that time you can use another type of method. Add type listener, same thing, throws java dot util dot sorry java dot util too many listeners exception. This method you can use for only one action listener, only one listener, sorry, not action listener, only one listener. Okay, now we have studied that, we have studied exception handling, right? Whenever exception occurs, object representing that exception will be generated and thrown to a exception handling mechanism. Then exception handling mechanism will handle that exception and go with the rest of the code. The same thing, whenever an event is generated, a object is created representing that event, and it will be passed to a listener. Listener will process that event and throw back a result. Okay, in next slide, if you want to remove a listener, if suppose there are many listeners, or if you want to remove one of the listener, at that time you can remove a listener. A source must also provide a method that allows a listener to unregister an interest in a specific type of event. See, in an event, if you want to pass a event object to only to this listener, only to these two listeners, not the third one, at that time, you can unregister this listener using the method called remove type listener. See, in this video we are not going to see any practical things, okay? So only theory. Practical things will start from, I have told you, it will start from introducing swings. Okay, now event listeners. A listener is an object that I have already explained you, object that is notified when an event occurs. It has two major requirements. First, it must have been registered with one or more sources to receive notification about specific type of event. See, for specific type of event, there are specific type of listeners, not the same listener for all events. One event, one specific type of event, a specific type of listener is available from Java. Okay, so first, a specific type of listener should receive this notification. Second, it must implement a method to receive and process this notification. When to receive and process this notification, process, it can be output, or it can be anything that a user wants. Okay, now event classes. Now, the if Java supports an event handling mechanism, then Java will provide classes, interfaces, and methods that will support this event handling mechanism. So the classes that represent events are at the core of Java's handling mechanism. So classes that handles this event handling mechanism, or that support this event handling mechanism, are at the core library. See, core part, the most widely used events are those defined by AWT and those defined by swings. There are two types of user interfaces in Java. There are many types. Actually, in your textbook there are mentioned only two types, that is AWT and swings. AWT is another type of GUI technique. Okay, it is abstract Windows toolkit, and swing is another type of technology provided by Java to create user interfaces. Okay, at the root of the Java event class hierarchy, event object hierarchy is event object, which is reside in a package called java.util. So like your exception, we had a throwable class, right? Then throwable class, we had two subclasses, exception and error. In same event handling, we had a parent class, a root class called event object, which is residing under java.util. Okay, then AWT events, which are defined within AWT package, is a subclass of event object. Okay, so have you understood? On the root we have event object, and subclasses, one of the subclass is AWT event, which reside under a package called java.awt, and event object reside under a package called java.util. So different package subclass, different package subclass. AWT event is a subclass of event object. Now, what are the classes provided by Java for handling events? So these are the classes that we are going to study one by one. So first one is action event, generated when button is pressed, a list item is double clicked, or a menu item is selected. So I have here, see, in this code I have deployed a action listener, action event. See, is action event. For this button I have used action event class object, action event class object, action event that is used for button is pressed. So when you are using this action event class, okay, what this comprises of, action event class, what it has. So let's start with action event class. So the action event class is used, or this class is used whenever you are clicking on a button or pressed a button, or a list item is double clicked, or a menu item is selected. So here action event is a class, so it is going to provide many constructors. So first constructor that it is using is a object source, which is generating a event, type of the event, and a string command. CMD means what? If you are setting a string value to this button, like for a HTML tag, if you are specifying a ID, through that ID you can perform some actions on that tag. In the same way, here we are specifying a string to this this component, and through that string we are performing some action on this button. Okay, so then next, after that we have next constructor, action event, the source that generates event, type of the event, command, modifiers. Modifiers means, have you pressed any control key, alt key, windows key, shift key? So these alt, control, shift, windows keys, if you are working on Windows, it will have different effects on the components, right? It will have different effects on components. So if it is pressed, what to do? Okay, then another constructor, say source, type, command, modifiers. Then when this event was generated, some events are time sensitive, right? When these events are generated, we need to keep track of the events timing. At that time we are using long when. Okay, you can obtain a command name for invoking action object by using a get action command. If you have set a command to a component using this string command, then you can query what command has been set to a particular component using get action command method, and it will return what action command has been set to that component. Okay, and if you want to query what modifier has been pressed during the action, then you can use a method called get modifier method. Returns a value that indicates which modifier keys, alt, control, meta or shift, or was pressed during event generation. See, for querying command you need to use get action command. Then for querying modifiers you need to use get modifiers methods. It's very simple. After that, after action event class, we have adjustment event class. An adjustment event is generated by scroll bars. Scroll bars, all of you know this is a scroll bar, right? See, this is a scroll bar. This is a scroll bar. There are 5 types of adjustment events. This 5 types of integer variables declared by this adjustment event class, and those are block decrement. Block decrement means these spaces that you are seeing, except this scroll bar, the space that you are seeing. If I click on this, see, it has been scrolled, right? So the user click inside the scroll bar to decrease the value. So inside the scroll bar to decrease or increase the value. See, block decrement, block increment. The user clicked inside the scroll bar to increase its value. See, decrease or maybe increase, see, and decrease or increase inside the scroll bar, not on this scroll bar. Then track. The slider was dragged. See, this was a slider and I am dragging this slider. So this was slider was dragged. For that we are using track variable. unit decrement. The button at the end of scroll bar was clicked to decrease its value. See the small tiny buttons that you are seeing on the scroll bars here on the top side and the bottom side. If you click on that, it will just unit decrement or unit increment. Only one scroll. See one. See if I click 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The button at the end of the scroll bar was clicked to decrease its value. So these are the 5 variables declared by adjustment event class. Okay, for block decrement, block increment, track, unit decrement, unit increment. And the constructor provided by this class is adjustment event. First argument is a source which generates a event id like command in action event class, id of that component, then type of action that you have performed, okay, then data, type of action that you have performed, block decrement, block increment, track, unit increment, unit decrement, or what. Okay, then data means what, how much block you want to increment to decrement. Okay, that comes under data. Okay, so I will stop here up to adjustment event class. See, we have already studied action event class and adjustment event class. In next video we are going to study rest of the classes and what they have for handling events, because within one video we cannot cover all these classes. Okay, so that's why I'm making this video shorter. Up to the next video, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.